Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DG, and I'm back with another episode of the Swipe File, which, by the way, I'm getting a lot of love on Twitter. Well, weird, Dan, you're the man behind the scenes in this show, so we're getting a lot of love on Twitter for the show, okay? Which is cool. Yeah. So let's do more of it.
I think so.
Okay. So today on this episode, this is not an interview with an amazing CMO or brand leader. Like I've mentioned, I'm trying to alternate both, but I want to talk about. I wanted to do an episode on this little rant that I have because I think it might be interesting to you. But this is called, to me, this is there's one skill that the number one skill that most B2B marketers are missing today. And I'm saying B2B marketing because that's the world that I live in and feel every day and talk to the most B2B marketers about. Excuse me. And the number one skill that most B2B marketers are missing, and call me out, tweet at me, follow me, whatever, come on the show and talk about it. But the number one skill that they're missing is empathy. Empathy. Am I using that word right? Empathy? What is the definition of empathy? Let me Google this up. Okay, empathy is by definition, it's a noun. First of all, for all you grammar people at home, it's a noun. And empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Okay. So the reason I talk so much about empathy is because I think there's a huge disconnect between what actually happens as people, what we actually respond to as people, and what we actually go and do in our jobs in marketing. And so I think about this all the time because I'm a marketer, but I'm also a person. And so I think in this world of B2B marketing, we send endless amounts of emails, we write a ton of content, we make a ton of videos, we spend a ton of money on ads, we do a million webinars and events. And I think it's just so easy to come into your job and just become this robot and just press send and hit play and just do a bunch of other stuff, right? But what I want you to think about, and a thing that has helped me change the way I do marketing, is I want you to remember empathy. And so what I always think about, before I send an email, before I send any email, before I make any podcast episode, before I make a deck or a landing page, or before I do a webinar, I always ask myself this question: would I respond to this? And I think we get caught up in this world of, Dave, you need to go and talk to your customers, right? And you need to know your personas and your buyer's journey. That stuff is great. But I also think that skews us too far in the wrong direction. You need to think about what stuff you respond to as a person. In this world today, it's 2019, right? There is more noise than ever in the market because everybody has a podcast, everybody has a blog. Anybody can be an idiot like me and go make a podcast, right? So it's easier than ever to just create more noise and add more information into the market. So we start to tune all this stuff out, right? I am a marketer. I live and breathe marketing, but I am allergic to marketing. I don't want you to market to me. I don't want you to sell to me. I don't want to see your ads. I don't want to click on your stuff, right? So how does that actually translate into what I'm going to actually go do in my day-to-day job? So I always think about empathy first. When I'm typing an email, would this email stand out in my inbox? Right now, I've done a pretty good job on my email today, but I have 59. I have 62 unread emails today from the last 2 hours. Dan, you probably get no email, right? Which is great. The creative team at Drift, they get no email. It's amazing. It's amazing. I BCC'd Michelle, one of our designers, on an email the other day, and she yells from me across the room, Dave, did you mean to BCC me on this email? I was like, I'm sure you don't understand that's how it works. Okay, so you got to think about, right? Think about that life, okay? I'm sure the other people that we're trying to market to are just like me. I have 62 unread emails. So if I'm gonna go send you an email right now that says, tomorrow, 2 p.m., webinar, am I gonna open that email? Hell no. And then when I open the email and it says, hello, Dave, as a VP of marketing at a fast-growing SaaS company, you know that blah, 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 blah. That is how 99% of the emails I get in my inbox look and feel. So if I'm gonna go write an email, why not use that to my advantage? And I know that. And so I wanna find ways to get your attention, and I wanna find ways to get you to actually respond, and I wanna do it in a way that would actually make me respond. So the honest answer is, actually don't think about our customers. I don't think about a buyer's journey. I first think about myself as a marketer. What would I respond to as a human, okay, as a person? What are the ads I watch on TV? What are the ads I watch on YouTube? What are the magazine headlines that I see when I'm at Whole Foods that I actually read and want to click and want to go read more about, right? think about that first. And that one little skill, I promise you, will then become a secret weapon to your marketing. Yes, then that will help you start more conversations with customers and create more relevant content for them and take people down the right buyer's journey. But it all starts with empathy. So think about, before you send your next email, before you make your next podcast, before you make your next video, before you do your next webinar, ask yourself, would I take 45 minutes out of my day to do this? I think about this a lot for events and webinars. Am I really going to spend half a day or a day and fly to San Francisco and go to that company's event? Probably not. So that means the hook has to be really good. The offer has to be really good. You have to have social proof. You have to have all those things. How can you go above and beyond of what most people are doing? Think about that before you do anything in marketing, and I promise you, if you can bring empathy into your marketing, you'll get more responses, you'll start conversations, and overall, you'll just become a better marketer because you start thinking about what actually makes people tick versus I have to go and do a webinar today at work, all right? Think about that, take it with you, and also just, I wanna hear your feedback. Tweet at me, at Dave Gerhardt. Let me know, what do you think about this whole topic of empathy, and do you have empathy? Do you think about this before you actually go and hit publish and create something? I'd love to learn more from you. Otherwise, thanks for being on this show. Well, you're not on the show, but you're somewhere, you're working out, you're walking to work, you're commuting, you're cleaning your house. I appreciate you listening. See ya.